need, and I hate new laws, is there's got to be a carrot and a stick to prevent this from happening. British Petroleum is the worst oil company in the world. They use junk equipment. I got a client that worked for Royal Dutch for 47 years. The Dutch could have capped that well in a couple days. Mile down, that's chump change. Chevron's got one in the Atlantic Ocean, it's 28,000 feet down, and it's built a drop. They're using premium hardware. They're a responsible American company. There's 4,000 rigs in the Gulf. Less than 2% are American companies. Okay, you trust the Russians, you trust the Chinese to be good husbands of our environment? I don't. Best stick and carrot you can employ is a massive deposit, hard currency deposit on a lease. They will be encouraged to not lose that hardcore deposit. Therefore, they will employ the best American hardware. That way we can prevent this from happening. Seismic anomaly, there's thousands of earthquakes in the Gulf daily. Okay? Client of mine, 47 years, they're the first ones drilling there. The Dutch were prevented, they offered free help. Bobby Jindal was arrested by the Coast Guard because they didn't have the right preservers out there. Obama should be impeached on that alone. That's unconscionable. They had these big barges out there collecting 500,000 gallons of oil a day, and they were denied because they didn't have the right pink or orange life preservers. That's insane. Simply insane. Too much regulation led to this. Too much regulation. BP got around it. EPA failed. MMA failed. EPA has absolute control over drilling now. Let's eliminate the EPA and this outrageous authority. We need better and smarter regulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Rusty?
Were you thinking that I wanted to read back to you?
Oh, you did already answer the question. Paul?
It's called business or government too big. And that is that as a healthcare provider and as a small businessman, you always prepare for emergencies. You look at what the unexpected is and how you're going to adjudicate that and how you're going to accomplish it. Who are the players and who's going to be responsible for what? This showed an ineptitude by the federal government in their rules and regulations. There is no oversight. There is no communication from top down. It is an unwillingness to work with private enterprise. It is working at private enterprise. In fact, if you go back, they didn't even know how to use the buoys. It's unbelievable that you would actually get into a situation where you already know that there's a lot of possibilities for failure. Amazingly, it doesn't happen. But it shows us an ineptitude of our federal government and the size of the bureaucracies and the regulations that exist. It's time that we start working with people, not at people.
Thank you. We're going to start the next question with John. And the question is, do you support the National Scenic Area designation for the land around Sedona? Why or why not?
That's a good question. And personally, I do. I support that. And I have some friends that live up in Sedona, and I go to Sedona a lot. And personally, I don't see the harm in preserving that area. I think it's a beautiful area, and as if it's sold off and turns into just another area where people can build, I personally think that we have enough buildings that are empty right now, enough houses empty right now with this recession, and we don't need a bunch more built just so somebody can try to sell them in the future. I'm not saying restrict growth in the state. I'm just saying in that area, I approve it, and I think it's a good idea.
Okay, Tom?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Tom? Yeah. National Scenic Area, of course. We need to be good husbands of our environment, but we also need proper cooperation and proper development. The #1 job creator in this country is construction, housing, commercial, etc. We need good cooperative relationships with local government. Federal and state government right now owns 90% of our land. Why? It's non-productive assets. If you're going to take land away from someone without proper compensation, I oppose that. But if you're going to do some kind of where we have this national security area and it's preserved, the Red Rock area, I live in Sedona. I've moved there because of the Red Rocks. I moved there because it feels good to be there. I'm a good husband of my family